Hey guys, so I hope you guys all had a very nice Thanksgiving break. So for me, I had to take a pretty long break because I just had to celebrate Thanksgiving. For the giveaway, nobody qualified for the award because nobody did the competition. So I'm going to have to extend the giveaway competition. If you want a $30 Barnes & Noble gift card, click the link in the description below. And now let's do Diary of Wimpy Kid, Empty Pockets, Part 5, the parody. I tried to answer in the most non-Greg voice possible. No, it's occupied. I tiptoed towards the window and slowly opened it. Then I crawled out and tried to find Raleigh. Now that I've got someone hunting me down is already enough to all the problems I have on my back. Monday. Last week was just a bore. I spent the rest of the time hanging out with Raleigh and going to church. Today in homeroom, the teachers introduced us to the geography bee. These contests are probably the most hilarious times of the year. We've got some smart kids, but the overwhelming majority is not. Most of us don't even care about all these bee contests. I'll just give an example of our unconcerned moments like the spelling bee in November. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Clap, clap. Yeah, let's go. I was handed a preliminary test for the geography bee that would determine if we went to the next round. The questions were quite straightforward, and they got progressively harder. I didn't want to be a disinterested student because I knew my homeroom teacher, Mrs. Jansen, would be grading these. I know she'll announce the lowest scorer on her morning announcements, Joseph Batak. It was also nerve-wracking when Mrs. Jansen comes and looks at your quiz behind your back. Right, scribble. I don't know about you, but when I'm an adult, I'm not going to worry about where Lake Tamar is located. I'm hoping that we're just going to get these answers wrong on purpose because I took a sneak peek at one of the finished tests. If we're actually trying our best, I think our generation is doomed. 17. Where does the Tigris River begin? On Earth. 18. Where is the largest country in Africa? On Earth. 19. Name a country that is double landlocked. On Earth. Tony, what's the capital of Saudi Arabia? On Earth. After school, I was seriously not looking forward to the track, especially after what happened on Saturday at the track meet. Coach Underwood first thanked us for all the efforts at our first track meet. He continued talking about the successes and things we need to improve on. He reassured us that we had plenty of the season to improve as he looked straight at me. We saw some success, leadership, and some mistakes. Mr. Mulaney helped me improve with my handoffs, and now I could take a baton with ease. To retrieve the baton, you extend your left hand. That would have been nice to know before the race. I saw Scotty training with some of my other peers, and he looked up at me. I figured I'll give him time to cool down, and then I could apologize. Later in the afternoon, I went to feed Sweetie. When I entered Grandma's house, I was greeted by her. She actually looked happy to see me. Grandma was filled with glee that I had took care of Sweetie so well. I was confused because I did what she told me and nothing else. It turned out that Sweetie lost weight and was healthier. Snork. I knew that only occurred because I forgot to feed him for a couple of days, but I wasn't about to tell my grandma about the truth. Thanks for taking care of my Sweetie. I knew this was my opportunity to get some money. I tried my luck against Grandma and it failed. Oh, Gregory, it's easy to earn $1, but it takes a lot more to make a difference in the world. Well, that was not what I was looking for. I needed money to buy the new Twisted Wizard game, and Grandma thought I was volunteering. I spent 3 weeks doing all of that and came up short. There was no way my parents or Riley was going to let me borrow their money. I couldn't think of an idea, so I told Grandma I was heading home. It's been 5 days since I got the role to cook. Luckily, I got a huge pass. Last week, Dad was at some fancy restaurant with his coworkers, and he came back with a lot of leftovers. We've been eating steak and corn for days. Maybe it wasn't that extreme. I realized you could find many mysteries inside the refrigerator. On Saturday, I found some old ready-to-go sandwiches, and we consumed those. However, we ran out of stock, and I actually need to cook now. I found my perfect assistant for the job, Grandpa. I asked Grandpa what I should cook, and he told me the easiest meal I could make, that was pasta. Pasta is the only thing I can make, and watercress salad. He grabbed a package of farfalle and told me to get a pot of water and a spoon. I prepared the pot and Grandpa started the stove. I have to admit, the process was easy. You just dump the pasta and wait for it to cook. Grandpa pulled out a jar of some strange yellow seasoning and told me that it was his special spice. He claimed that it could enhance different flavors in different foods. The spice can make salty food saltier and sweet food sweeter. Grandpa told me he basically adds it to any type of food, whether that was vegetables, meat, eggs, fruits, and even cake. After the pasta was well done, Grandpa added a ton of that spice into the food. He didn't tell me how strong the spice was, and I'm sure Dad tasted this type of thing before because he didn't seem to mind. Wednesday. So many events happened today, and I'm almost shocked what the school is doing. But first, on the morning announcements, the teachers announced the people who made it to the next round of the spelling bee. We had a large range of scores. Thankfully, I didn't make it. However, a lot of people got all of them incorrect, so Mrs. Jansen announced more names than the actual people who qualified. For the people who didn't get any correct, we have Johnny Abraham, Gary Addison, Tina Odorno, Trevor Amesh. After that, they called our grade down to the auditorium. Vice Principal Roy was holding a remote and was standing next to the projector. I thought he was going to present some sort of cheesy bowling presentation. In fact, he showed one just last month. Be a buddy, not a bully. It turned out to be different than I expected. Vice Principal Roy started off talking about responsibilities and stuff like that. Then he told us something that blew my mind. He said the school is experimenting with educational devices. He wanted our grade to use tablets for our classes as an experiment for the upcoming grades. Educational tablets creates more EDU uses, organizes schoolwork. I'm surprised Vice Principal Roy chose our grade, because we're probably the wildest grade in our middle school. But it's fine, because for once I'll actually own my own electronics. Vice Principal Roy told us that the apps that we need to download, he said that the school is paying for these tablets, so once we graduated from the school, they would reuse them. I was a little disappointed that I couldn't keep them. Next, Vice Principal Roy explained about breaking the tablets. If the tech department has to fix something on your device, you get a free pass. But if you break your tablet a second time, you'll have to pay the full damage price. If someone stole your tablet or you just simply lose it, you also need to pay the full price. Warranty system. What happens if you break or lose a tablet? Can we get the tablets now? I'm sure we were all talking over this long speech because I was ready for the moment when the teachers would hand them out. But the teachers just handed out an informational packet that we needed our parents to sign. Vice Principal Roy explained that the people who returned with their permission slips would get their tablets on Monday. After that, he left the stage. When I showed the permission slip to Dad, he read and approved it. However, he needed to check with Mom first before I could return it to the school. Thursday. In homeroom, Mrs. Jansen collected more of the permission slips except for a couple, including mine. She told that the people who didn't turn them in could just give it to her tomorrow. In PE, the weather was still gloomy and frigid, so we couldn't go outside. Coach Underwood decided to start the physical fitness test. Groan. That was for us boys. The girls were doing some roller skating or something. He let us into our side of the gym and explained what we were doing. Recently, the nation made an official fitness test, and all the schools were doing the same exercises. Coach Underwood played an audio recording directing which events were in this fitness test. There were the usuals like push-ups and sit-ups, but there were also many other events. Coach Underwood pulled out the first audio for the sit-ups. You'll be doing the sit-ups test now. Coach Underwood, can I go to the bathroom? This voice was called the cadence, and it was supposed to keep us in track. I paired with Raleigh, and we sat on the mat. The cadence told us that we couldn't hold on to our partner's feet, and we had to keep our feet on the ground. Also, our hands had to be on the mat and past our heels every single rep. If the partner sees you messed up in one of the requirements, or you fall behind in the cadence, you'll get a warning and then you're out. That was so much different than our typical sit-ups. Up. 2. I got 5 sit-ups, and it was about average with my group. As I said before, our school is one of the worst in the fitness tests. Valley didn't do much better, and he got 8 in total. Louise. I'm pretty sure Coach Underwood was not satisfied with our results. He made us do the sit-ups again because we did so poorly. Up. 4. Today in track, Mr. Mulaney made us do a time trial. Ready, set, go. I did much better from my previous time, a 16-second 100-meter sprint. I thought we were done, but he made us run 200 meters, 400 meters, and basically any distance that he wanted us to do. When we were running the 400 meter, I felt like I was running so slowly because the wind was pushing us back. Whoosh! Gasp! When I got back home, Mom was already there. She wanted to talk about the new tablets the school was giving us. What is this flyer for educational devices? School is for disciplined education. Mom used to be active in the PTA, but because of her night school, she couldn't really attend the meetings. If the PTA had her way, we wouldn't even have these tablets. Mom told me she wanted me to only do homeroom and school-related activities. As a result, Mom told me she needed to know my password so I couldn't use the tablet after dinner unless it's absolutely necessary. I could live with these rules. At least Mom signed my permission slip and I was allowed to use the tablet. My electronic punishment was over, so I spent my evening catching up on those home reality shows. Friday. I think the weather is purposely being ruined nowadays. Riley and I met as we walked to school, and it was super windy. We had before school track practice, so that didn't improve my situation. Coach Underwood was talking about our track meet on Saturday, but it was really hard to hear when the wind is howling in your ears. I want you to push over. Whoosh, whoosh. What? Huh? Alright, guys. I'll see you guys next time, and make sure to enter the giveaway in the link description below. See you guys later.